Hello Year 4, our English lesson today is all about fronted adverbials. So first things first, what is a fronted adverbial? So I know that a fronted adverbial has the word fronted in it, which means it has to come at the beginning or front of a sentence. What else do I know about fronted adverbials? Well, it's got the word adverbial in it. Now an adverb, we know that an adverb describes a verb. I hope you can all remember that a verb is a doing word. Okay. Another thing that we know an fronted adverbial needs is a comma after it. So it always has a comma after the fronted adverbial. And we also know that adverbs can show time, manner or place. So let's think of any examples of adverbs or fronted adverbials. I can think of later that day and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye. That's a good one. I've seen that in lots of your writing. Nervously, in the distance. Now I'm not sure of another one, so I'm going to go and look at my prompt mat, which you can find on our website under our Learning Today, and I'm going to choose another one. Okay, I'm going to choose upstairs. Okay, now can we list these as time, manner or place fronted adverbials? So I think that later that day is an example of a time adverbial. So I'm going to pop it under that title. And I'm going to use a title for manner and for place. Okay, let's try and classify our other fronted adverbials. So we have in the distance. Well, that definitely doesn't tell me what time. It doesn't tell me how something's happening, but it does tell me where. So it's an adverbial for place. What about nervously? Time? No. Manner? Well, it tells me if somebody's doing it nervously, so that's definitely telling me how it's being done. All of a sudden, I think that's for time. In the blink of an eye, that's for time. And upstairs, I think that's for place. Now, I'm having a look at my list and I'm not sure whether all of a sudden would fit better in the manner section, because although it's telling me how long it's taking for something to be done, it's also telling me how it's being done. So I've decided that that is a fronted adverbial for manner. Okay, so I'm going to try and put my fronted adverbials into sentences now. You will notice I've got pictures from Charlotte's Web, our book that we were studying last term. So I'm going to use, let's start with in the blink of an eye. Right, so I'm going to choose the first picture and I'm going to say in the blink of an eye, remembering my comma after my fronted adverbial. Let me use a pronoun for Charlotte. The mysterious arachnid dropped down from her web. Okay, and let's do another one. I'm going to choose nervously. Wilbur, our little pig, trotted over to the curious animals. So I've used an adverb for time and I've used an adverb for manner. Now I'm going to write one more sentence and I want you to think about what I've done wrong in this sentence. And also, if I've used a fronted adverbial, what kind have I used? So without warning, a haunting voice whispered from the shadows. Have a little think. What fronted adverbial have I used and what have I missed? I hope you've all spotted that I have missed out the comma after my fronted adverbial, and without warning is an adverb for manner. Okay, so for your goal task today, you have a photograph of a marathon, and you are going to be writing a piece of text about the marathon using fronted adverbials for time, manner and place. So I am going to write a waggle using this picture of Roger Federer winning his trophy at Wimbledon, which is a tennis tournament. So let's start with an adverb for place. So on the tennis court, the tennis player picked up the trophy. What else could I say? Oh, let's use an adverb for manner now. Proudly, he smiled as the crowd clapped. Now I'm going to use a time. So I've used all three of my fronted adverbial examples. After a while, he began to cry with joy. And one more sentence. Courageously, he had won the trophy. Now that's just a quick example of a waggle that I have created, but I think I can make that even better. And to achieve platinum today, you need to be looking at editing and revising your works and making it even better. Okay, so I think I could improve my sentence right at the beginning. On the tennis court, that's a bit boring, and I've used repetition. I've used tennis twice. So on the tennis court, the tennis player, I think I could up level that. I could edit it. Picked up the trophy. Proudly he smiled. Oh, I know I've missed something here. Look, I've used a fronted adverbial and I've not used a comma. Proudly he smiled as the crowd clapped. Or could I use an adjective in here to describe the crowd? After a while, oh, I've missed another comma out. He began to cry with joy. Well, I've used he again. I've used the same pronoun twice. So I need to avoid repetition, a year 4 standard, and I need you to change to a different pronoun. Courageously, another comma missed. He had won the trophy. Again, I think I could add a little bit more detail here and pop in an adjective. So now I'm going to rewrite my work, and I'm going to include all of the features I have just picked up on in my edit. So on centre court, now that's the name of the court that they use in Wimbledon for the final competition. So on the centre court, I'm going to use a pronoun here, admirable athlete. So admirable is somebody you can admire him because he's a very successful tennis player. On centre court, the admirable athlete raised, I've used a synonym for picked up, raised his 2 trembling hands to lift the glistening trophy. Can you see how I've included more detail by describing how his hands are moving and what he's picking up using adjective? Okay, so moving on, proudly, making sure I've included that comma this time, he grinned from ear to ear as the admiring crowd clapped, cheered and whistled. Now instead of just putting smiled, the crowd smiled, I've used the commas for list example, which is a year 4 standard, and I've put clapped, comma, cheered and whistled. Okay, now you could level this even more because I've used admirable and admiring. I've repeated myself there. So perhaps I could up level it again and change the word admiring. Okay, and finally, courageously, he had won the, I'm going to choose the word renowned to describe the trophy. Okay, so I've achieved platinum today because I have written my piece of text using adverbials, fronted adverbials for time, manner and place, and then I've gone back and edited my piece of work using arms and cups and substituting words and up leveling them to up level my work.